everybody, it's me, Tara. We are here with the Life Pro Talk today, and I am here
with Jeremy the Barber, here to ask some questions and get some pro tips on just being a stylist, and obviously talking a little bit about hair systems. So Jeremy, like, you're wearing a hair system right now?
I am.
Can you tell us which one you're wearing?
So I am wearing the HD 111.
Nice. Looks great.
Appreciate it.
All right. So it's great to have you here. And just so everybody knows, you guys are all eligible today to get a $30 off coupon using the code JPO in the house. And that's going to get you $30 off of any system. You cannot combine any offers. So obviously if there's something that's already discounted, that's not going to work. So no, double discounts, guys. And this is valid today until Friday the 16th at midnight. So if you're here on the live today, guys, make sure you get that discount and get your systems. All right, so we're going to kind of start talking about asking you some questions. So first off, you're from Indiana.
Yes.
Okay, and you are a stylist slash influencer. How long have you been doing both?
So I've been cutting hair for, I want to say, 12 years. As for content, I would say maybe a year.
Okay, cool. And how long have you been doing hair systems?
It's been since March.
March. Okay,
Yep.
so you're just fairly new at doing the hair systems. What kind of got you into doing hair systems? Like, what made you dive into that world?
Well, obviously, I'm wearing a hair system.
Yeah.
So I started going bald, and yeah.
So you started going bald. You decided to get yourself into hair systems, and then you decided to, I guess,
start offering it to
doing
other
this for other people, kind of,
suffering from the same thing.
Yeah, man. Okay, of course that makes sense. If you can help them out, that makes sense. We're good? Okay. So let's talk about what are some of the common mistakes people with their hair care routines that you wish they'd stop?
Probably from when they're shaving down their scalp, they're not cleaning it off properly, so they'll still have that stubble of hair left over, and they always complain about it being itchy. So when they're placing on, they still got that little stubble. So I would say just clean properly.
Okay, so yeah, so if they're taking off their system, they're not clean. So this is in this scenario where someone's kind of doing their own maintenance at home, but then obviously now they're coming back to you complaining, saying that it's getting itchy, and really it's just them not really cleaning. Now, have you done this yourself? Do you know that this is a scenario?
Yes.
Okay,
I
so
have definitely done it myself.
With experience, you obviously know this is a little bit of a scenario. So guys, that kind of points to make sure if you're doing your own systems, you're going to shave your head, make sure you clean it off really good, because yeah, any of those little hairs are definitely going to cause some itchiness, some irritation. You don't want to have that. If you start scratching at a system, that's obviously going to remove hair. It's going to cause more issues. So yeah, guys, make sure your head is nice and clean when you are putting a system back on. So what's your secret to keeping up with the latest trends and techniques in the hairstyling industry within like the hair replacement aspect of things though?
I guess pay attention to the kids. They're all walking around with different types of hairstyles, and that's normally the trends that are going on. They're seeing everybody else doing things.
Yeah. So. Do you feel like your clientele is more of the younger generation or the older generation?
I want to say it's pretty mixed.
Okay.
I haven't seen anybody. Actually, I have had one person that was like 19 come in.
Okay. Yeah.
I think that was the youngest I've had.
All right. Can I ask for yourself, like, when did you start experiencing hair loss? Like, how old were you? Like, what?
So, 25, I was at my prime, so I had nice hair, nice beard come in. 26 hit, it was just declining.
Oh, no.
It was bad.
Yeah. And then how long? Like, what did you feel like it happened very quickly? Did you feel it just kind of gradually decreased over the years?
It was happened pretty quickly. I ended up getting on minoxidil, and that slowed it down and brought some of the hair back, but it also, there were side effects to that.
Okay.
So that's
Yeah.
why I kind of
All right, that makes sense. So getting back to the systems here, what styling tricks do you use that always impress your clients that you hope they don't try at home so they can keep coming back?
That is a good one.
Yeah. Do you have any styling tricks that you use?
So I use this brush. It's called the unbrush. And that doesn't pull any of the hair out.
Okay.
So it's just a detangling brush, and that seems to make the system kind of
last longer.
Yeah.
Oh, nice. And it's unbrush, UM or
UN.
UN unbrush. Okay, I have to look into that, guys. Like, if there's anything out there that can make your system last longer, I mean, I think that's actually a good thing to use. I'm trying to think if I have any styling tricks that always impress my clients. For me, I'm a big paste. I know we were having this conversation earlier. We were talking about like styling products we use in systems. I mean, I know for myself when I'm styling a client, I love paste. I feel like paste isn't given its due diligence. Like it's just not given the credit it deserves when you're styling a system. For me, I feel a system that looks, and you can let me know if you see the same thing, but a system that kind of has like that messy, not perfectly kept look, looks more natural than say a system that's like perfectly coiffed. So for me, I know I like to use like a lot of paste. I get in there, I kind of like mess it up first and then I style the hair. It is something I've kind of perfected. So, you know, that's my whole, little trick.
I've tried like styling powders. I think that looks pretty
well.
like
are you talking like the thickening ones that kind of give texture?
Yes,
yes.
I
haven't
like
tried
those ones. Those ones are really nice with it.
That's a good one. I haven't tried any of those. I'm gonna have to take a look at that one. Yeah. Do you have a brand you specifically use, or?
I normally use level 3.
Okay.
I don't like paste. I feel like it made it look greasy.
Okay.
But it's probably also just by that company.
Yeah, it could very well be. I'm more of a matte paste kind of product, not more of a pomade. I know pomades have more of that glossy, shiny finish. I like more of that matte pomades that are kind of a little bit, have more gritty texture to them. It's kind of like where my preferences are, but that's just me. So, also too, when I had shorter hair, I really liked using that in my own hair. I felt it just it just adds that nice, cool look without it being too, like, yeah, you have to keep it in a specific kind of style, right? Are there any techniques or tools you use that you think are a game changer but aren't widely known? I know you mentioned the unbrush. Anything else that you would think?
I feel like the things that we use on a daily is just given the thinning shears, your shears, the feather and razors. You can take your thinning shears straight to the base to reduce some of the density.
Yep, that's true. So
that's a game changer.
Yep, definitely. That'll definitely help with anything with those thick systems. So when you're styling up a men's, you're doing a hair system on a man, and do you have an area you feel like you have to focus on most when you're doing any kind of styling, or you're doing anything with a hairpiece? Like, do you feel like, you have to thin it out in a certain area more, or, do anything specific to a system? Like, you always feel like this is what I always have to do.
So it's mainly where the swirl is. That's where I feel like I have the most, I have to thin out the most.
Yeah, I agree. Yeah.
And then the perimeter, just to kind of blend it into the actual bio hair.
Yeah. Yeah, definitely the primer. But yeah, I agree. That crown for me, I feel is always like a little bit too much hair going on.
Yeah, a lot of clients say something about that area a lot.
Yeah. I mean, clients should always take a good week to kind of let the hair settle before you thin it out too much. I mean, I always know we do have to definitely go in, thin them out, texturize them a little bit, obviously make it look good. I know for myself, I don't like clients to kind of overdo it the first week, because it's going to settle. And the last thing you want is like it settles and then they're like, oh, wow, it's too thin now.
Yeah.
It's a lot easier to take more hair off than kind of like, glue it back in.
Yeah.
No, we don't glue them back in, guys. That was a joke. What is the best way to communicate with the stylist to ensure they get the exact cut or style they want?
Be picky.
Okay.
I guess, yeah. Be picky. Let me know if you see something that you don't like. Let me know so I can kind of adjust that to your liking.
Yeah, rather than saying nothing and then complaining later, like, yeah, I definitely agree. Go in, have your clients be picky. I mean, it's their hair, they're wearing it, they need to feel comfortable in it. Within, obviously, reason. Mm-hmm. It is a hair system, but yes, that's definitely a good piece of advice. What's one thing you wish every client knew before they sat in your chair?
Keep their belongings with them or off my station.
Oh, I so agree with that one. Yeah. Yes. I think clients really like to make themselves at home, but it's not their home. My whole paranoia, I know my paranoia is when people put their phone on my counter, and I'm so worried about like water getting on it or like, hair getting in it or something like that. It just makes me feel more better if you just kind of keep it on you, and then I don't have to worry about it.
Exactly.
Or how many times people, I mean, I don't know about you. Do you have people like that leave their stuff, like they'll put their sunglasses there and then they walk out with their sunglasses?
Yep, I'll have to put them in like a drawer or something, and then I'll hear back later. Or I just won't even hear back at all.
I know. I've had people leave some like really nice sunglasses, and it's just like, okay. Or they don't even remember. Or the keys. I mean, usually they don't get far if they've left their keys though, so that's good. What's the one hair myth you wish would go away?
Probably your hair grows half-inch
Okay.
a month. Because I don't think everybody's hair grows half-inch, especially for somebody that's actually thinning. Your hair starts to slow down.
Yeah.
So
I think it's the average, but yeah, no, you're right. It doesn't necessarily grow a half of an inch. I know for me, my biggest one is a trim. Doesn't cost less money because it's a trim. I'm still having to go through your hair exactly in the same manner. If I'm taking off a half an inch, 3/4 of an inch, it doesn't matter. It's still the same haircut. So a trim isn't going to be cheaper.
That, or they ask for a lineup, but then add in a taper.
Oh, I know, right?
That's going to cost more. I mean, then it turns into a haircut. Taper's a haircut.
It's like,
it's not a lineup anymore.
Yeah, exactly. It all costs more. If it takes more time, it costs more. How can you tell what hair product is a hype and not actually effective?
Probably the over-advertised ones.
Okay.
And you see all the comments underneath saying, "Oh, that's too greasy. It's too shiny. It doesn't look good at all." Just those products.
I think it's really hard nowadays because there's so much hype on stuff, even like on TikTok or on YouTube, or like, you get, no offense, influencers that are kind of like promoting a product or something, and you have no clue anymore if they're actually legitimately happy with that product or if it is actually that good. And I think that's a really hard one to kind of weigh in on. For myself, I know that I've fallen into the trap of like, oh, everybody loves it and I'm gonna buy it, and then I try and I go, meh. It might not be horrible, but it might not be the best. I always say if something's like too good to be true, that's probably too good to be true.
Yes.
And if something's, obviously, I think some people are going to like something and some people are not going to like something. So you should be able to see both kind of reviews. If all you're seeing is good reviews,
it's probably not good.
It's probably not that great. And if all you're seeing is bad reviews, it's probably not that great. So you probably want to see a little bit of both, at least, because not everybody's going to love everything. Just like we had a conversation about the paste. Not really a fan, big fan, you know what I mean? Yep. That doesn't mean it's a bad product. It just means everybody has their preferences.
Could just be the actual brand itself that I'm not liking instead of...
Yeah, exactly, because there's lots of brands out there too. Speaking of brands, give us a little bit, so what do you use on your system currently right now?
So I don't use any styling products like
glues and stuff.
Oh, glues. So I'm using Walker's Great White. and
Okay.
I like it. I think it compares to the Ghost Bond.
Okay.
I just feel like I get at least like 2 or 3 days extra, and it dries a little bit quicker.
Okay.
In my experience.
Your experience? And have you tried any other glues or anything else out there?
So I've tried Ghost Bond Glow Up. I didn't like how long it lasted.
Okay.
Then I tried, what was it, the Walkers?
The Ultra Hold?
I think so, yeah.
Okay.
It was too stringy. It was messy.
Yeah, it is a
Very,
messy
very
one.
messy.
It's a very messy one, and it's actually better if you go, you know, I mean, I know we have our lovely Rick that loves the Ultra Hold. It is a very stringy product, and you really do have to have, there's a finesse to it. Less is more. It really does have to dry down to a tack, not a string.
Right.
So if you don't let it dry down, you've actually not let it do what it's supposed to do. Ghost Bond's definitely going to last longer, I believe. So it's not going to have the same comparable time frame on how long it lasts.
It does dry. It does dry quicker.
Does it?
I think so.
You feel it dries quicker
than
on the head?
Than white glue.
Okay.
As far as the waiting time between how long you have to wait for that.
The white glue dries faster
Yes.
than the Ghost Bond. Yeah,
Yes.
dries faster than the Ultra Hold.
Yes.
Okay, yeah, I do agree there. Yes, yeah, yeah. I find the Ultra Hold takes a little bit of time to kind of really get that tackiness to it. And just out of curiosity, how many layers do you do of the white glue?
I only use 1 layer.
Oh, only 1 layer.
Yeah, I don't use any more than that.
Yeah.
I'm impatient. I don't want to wait for each.
That's my myth, and I mean, sorry Ghost Bond, but I don't believe you need to do 6 layers. I've never done 6 layers on anyone. But yeah, I mean, to each their own. Some people like to do a lot of layers, some people don't. I don't think you necessarily have to do a lot of layers. And how long does your system usually last you for?
I can go 2 weeks, but I prefer to do it every week.
Okay, so you like to literally take it off every
Yeah.
week and do it. Now, do you feel you could last longer if you wanted to?
If I wanted to, yes, but like when it comes to the hairline, it'll start getting a darker tint.
Okay.
And it looks less real.
Okay.
So that's why I like the weekly routine for
Gotcha.
myself.
Okay.
That's-
And the darker tint usually is from like sweat and dirt and anything. That's just obviously there's still like a little bit of glue there. So yeah, you could end up getting that darker line at the front. So, I mean, it does make sense. Yeah, cleaning it a little bit more often. I mean, I know you don't necessarily have to do a full service. Some people will just kind of lift it, clean it, and kind of reapply. That's fine. But yeah, any other advice you give anybody who's specifically looking to get into wearing a system but kind of sitting on the fence?
Do it. That's all I'm gonna say.
All right. So we're going to open up the chat so we can kind of answer any questions either for myself or for Jeremy. And remember, guys, JPO in the house, that is our coupon code. And you guys can literally save $30 on any system right now. So it's from now until the 16th. So that's Friday, midnight. And you cannot double dip. So if there's already a coupon, you can't use that coupon. But on any other system that basically doesn't have any sales going on, definitely use that coupon code. Save $30 on any system. So yeah, we'll open up some questions here. Drone Advocate, any tricks on blending sides and back with your natural hair in case of faded sides and back? You want to answer that one?
Thinning shears. Thinning shears probably be the best bet. That, and if there's a little bulk in that area, you can take a feather razor and kind of like just thin out that area so it's not, I want to say, puffing up.
Yeah, puffing up, getting, yeah, kind of like that little bowl.
And at least keeping at least like an inch of growth on the side. That's going to be the easiest way to blend that system into the bio hair.
Yeah, definitely. Make sure there's some hair. I mean, if you don't have any hair, I mean, I guess if you're doing a completely disconnected cut, you can go in with something that's completely,
Viking
yeah,
style.
Yeah, exactly. But I think, yeah, if you're gonna do any kind of hair system, at least an inch is definitely ideal. All right, next question. give me a minute. What system is this fellow wearing? What system are you wearing, Mr. Fellow?
HD 111.
So the HD 111, guys. So if any of you know Rick, it's the same system.
Mm-hmm.
Great system out there.
Thanks, Rick.
Amanda, if you mess up on the cut, are there any methods of services to add hair? We do actually have services where you can send the system. We actually can do hair ads. I don't know where you're from, Amanda, but yeah, we do have some people locally here in Canada, or we can send it to the factory. I have, believe it or not, unfortunately, one of my worst scenarios was I was talking with the guy. We're having the conversation where you have those clients that you're just kind of like chit-chatting and going. And I'm like doing his hair and I'm cutting and then I'm thinning and then I'm cutting and going back and forth with hair scissors. And I put down the thinning shears and I thought I still had them. And I picked up the scissors and I went to thin it and I went snip and I literally cut a big hole on the side of his. Oh my God. My heart just went to my gut. And, now, lucky for me, he had another system that we could actually install, but then I ended up having to go in and send that system into the factory. They added some hair, which was quick and easy. It wasn't that hard. It's just more of a time constraint, unfortunately. So there is a bit of time because they are sending it back to the factory, which is in China, and then they're sending it back. So I hope that helped, Amanda. Okay, another question. Which ghost spawn is best for sweat, heat, or water? All of them are. They're all, that's what Ghost Spawn is known for, is exactly that. My new favorite, I was just saying, I don't have it up on my, I think I've sold it all, is the Supreme. That's my new favorite. Ghost Spawn, I started using this one and I feel like Cell and Platinum are very similar for the whole time. I think Supreme is above and beyond those ones. That's just my experience. That's why it's my new favorite. But they all should really do that. Like, that's what Ghost Bond is made for, is to combat heat, sweat, white glue in general. So sometimes it's just a matter of kind of like playing with all of them and seeing which one you like the best and then kind of going from there.
Good scalp protector as well.
Oh, yeah, definitely. Yeah. Scalp protector is definitely a good piece of advice there. So that's always going to make or break a product, I feel, especially if you are a big sweater, guys. Any other? Sweater, yeah. Next question. I want to visit Jeremy for a full consult and install, but it's too. I'm sorry, Sean. Yeah, he's in Indiana. Unfortunately, I don't know where you're coming from, but you know, unfortunately, he doesn't do house visits.
Dope.
Not yet.
Maybe save up, come to me, I got you.
Yeah, there you go. See, save up some money. You know, go there for a vacation or something. Install a system. That would always
corn.
Exactly. All right. Any more questions, guys? Nothing right now. Okay. So, do we have anything else to add today, guys? Anything you want to... Oh, shoot. How are you on time? Are we all good on time? Daniela? We're still good on time? Yeah? No? We're good? We'll keep going. Okay, so again, guys, if you are watching this video today, watching the live, please feel free to use our coupon code, JPO in the house, and get yourselves $30 off a hair system. This is for anyone who is joining us today live. And then hopefully you can get yourself a discounted hair system. Jeremy is wearing the HD 111, so that is the super thin skin disposable system. So let me ask you, and I probably shouldn't even ask this question, how long do you get the system for? How long do you wear the system for?
Do you really want me to answer it?
Oh, I want you to answer yes.
I think it's going on like 2.5, maybe 3 months.
Oh, wow. Really? That is so good. So what is your, what would you say, what would you,
advice.
Yeah, best advice for this thin skin, because guys, just so you know, the thin skin is disposable. So just because lovely Jeremy gets that time out of it does not mean you're going to. But yeah, what kind of advice would you give?
try not to use just a normal tooth comb. Like, it's gonna start ripping out the hairs, probably rip the system. Don't play with the hair way too much. Don't twirl it around your fingers.
Like when you style your hair, give me a kind of like a breakdown in the morning. Like, so what do you do in the morning? Give me like your routine.
So I do use that unbrush.
Okay.
I do wet style.
Okay.
But I leave it alone after that. I don't touch it pretty much the rest of the day.
Okay. Products, what do you use?
Just an argan oil spray. It's by Ghost Bond.
Okay.
I believe, yeah.
Okay, an argan oil spray. So you spray that on. Like, do you wash it every day? Do you wash it every second day? Like, what's your?
So I try not to wash it every day, but I like to be clean. So I tend to wash it every day.
All right.
And that's probably why I put all that the argan oil spray in there.
Okay, when you're washing the hairpiece, what are you looking to do? Like, how do you wash it?
So I kind of just like massage it in. I don't scrub it like I used to have hair. You're no longer scrubbing it in.
Okay.
You're just kind of like lightly massaging it and let the water just run down and just kind of push out all that soap. Pat dry. That's another thing. Don't scrub. Just pat dry with a towel when you're done. Technically, you're supposed to wait until the hair system is dry before you start styling. You do it while it's wet. It's gonna start pulling out that hair.
Yeah. So you're kind of like, are you waiting till it's dry to style, or do you just kind of
I pat dry as much as I can,
Okay.
and then I'll use that brush.
The
and
unbrush?
I'll kind of like put in a slick back look. I'll kind of let it dry, and then once it is dry, I'll kind of run my fingers into that kind of brush over look.
Okay, that makes sense. And so you're shampooing now, and you're using the argan oil spray. So that's kind of like a leave-in conditioner or sort of scenario.
Leave-in conditioner, leave-in oil.
Okay, so you're not really kind of going over. So then the rest of the day, you're not like touching and fiddling with your hair and doing all of that stuff. You're kind of just leaving it alone. That's a very important thing, guys.
I'm doing demonstrations. Oh, look, you can pull it. It's not going anywhere.
Look, that's a good piece of advice, guys, because I mean, I think my biggest thing that I see with individuals, especially when they first get their systems, is they're always like they're doing this, they're touching, they're pulling, they're constantly fiddling. The more you do that kind of stuff, the more your hair is going to come out. Now, for yourself, are you a tosser and turner when you sleep?
I think I'm a rock.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't move.
You don't move?
I do use a silk pillowcase.
Nice.
That also
perfect.
helps.
Yeah. I always say silk pillowcases are like the most ideal thing for everybody. Even like anyone. Honestly, it's great for your face. It's great for your skin. It's great for your hair. But yeah, it's really going to help with the system, so you're not getting that matted look, especially at the back if you're tosser and turner, doing any kind of weird stuff.
Not going to get that rat's nest.
Yeah, because I mean, once you get the rat's nest, and I know a lot of people, so this on the other end of the spectrum, I know some people, they don't do anything to their system. They don't even brush them because they're worried they're going to lose their hair. That, guys, can actually have the opposite effect, and you're gonna get matting, and then it's
chunk.
Yeah, like, have you seen those yet? Like where they're like the big, huge.
But I have had a client come in and they had a big old knot in the back. They're like, I don't know how to get it out. I just use a detangling spray.
Yeah.
And then just work at it slowly.
That's all you can do. I do suggest if you do ever get that, guys, like bring it into a stylist, have them deal with it, because if you're going to try to yank that out, you're going to literally put a hole in your system, yank out a bunch of hair, so that's really not good. But hey, if you yank out the hair, we can also do a hair ad for you, so. Do we have any other questions? Oh, Jasper Hawkins, what color is your hair?
It's a number 4. I'm pretty sure it was a light brown.
Yours was a number 4? Oh, nice.
I believe so, yeah.
Very good. Dominic goes, how often should one get the biohair service by a stylist to match the system? What is the easiest styles to just self-cut?
So probably like around that 1/2 inch to 1 inch length all around if you're going to do it yourself. So either a 4 guard or an 8 guard. That's probably the easiest way for you to maintain the hair system and your bio hair.
Yeah, and then you should probably cut that how often? What do you say, like?
Between like 2 to 4 weeks. I mean, your hair is already longer at that stage. It's not going from bald to hair. So I mean, if you're really looking for that bald look, you probably want to go see a professional, and that'll probably be around the 2-week mark.
Yeah. Do you cut your own hair?
I used to, not now, not that since I've had the system.
Okay, so you don't cut it anymore. No. you don't attempt to do any of that stuff.
I'm in a shop. I got other barbers that'll take care of me.
That's good. Now, what about so you're in a shop now. Do you own the salon, or are you just working there?
No, I just work there.
Okay. Do any of them actually do any hair systems? Or?
No, but they have thought about it.
Oh, because now they're seeing you getting the business going, and they're probably,
Yep.
So if you guys are still thinking about it, I mean, again, depending on who's watching the video today, I know I get a mixture of everyone. If you're looking to do the hair systems, we do offer a class, guys, so you can definitely sign up for the Evolve class. I think our next one is in October. Yeah, October is the next class. So we definitely do have that whole Evolve class. You get the certificate. We go through everything, including all the tips and tricks, systems, how to do it. You can do it online. You can come in person if you're here in Canada, or if you're not here in Canada, you just come visit me, and we can do it in person too. So yeah, we do have that also, guys. So you do have the Evolve classes if you are in the market to learn how to do what Jeremy's doing. Now, again, you have to be a stylist. So I cannot teach you this if you don't know how to cut hair.
Need a license.
You need a license, unfortunately. Actually, fortunately, because if you don't know how to cut hair, unfortunately, I just can't. I can't show you how to do this. That's a little too stressful. However, if you are looking to just do this in find a stylist, you can technically, you can usually find stylists all over the place. A lot of the times I tell people, look it up online, look at hair replacement system. I don't know how you're advertising yourself in Indiana. How are you, what are you under?
I'm sorry?
Like, how are you advertising yourself in?
Just by posting, posting content. I have my location and stuff on my page for people to see if that they're close enough or too far away.
Yeah.
I do know other people that I'll sometimes send them if they're closer. But yeah.
But if they were to search,
that's a question I have for you. If they want to come to you guys, do you guys have a search method for the people that have come under you to
well, I mean, if you're looking up hair replacements, hair systems, toupees, wigs, anything like that, usually, I mean, I think we use all of those, but like I know when I'm telling someone who is not in the vicinity, if they're looking for a hairstylist that does hair replacement, I will say, like, oh, look for hair replacement, hair systems, hair wigs, hair toppers, men's units, you know, to try to look up everything they could possibly think of to see how someone's posting their stuff to find someone, because I know that we are always looking for more people who are doing this kind of work. So hey, we can send you some clients, right? We got a ton of clients all over the place that are, you know, they'll purchase our systems, but then they don't know where to go. So okay, we had another question. I did see it. Matthew, does the system last longer if you apply glue and tape together? You want me to answer that, or you want to answer that one?
I don't think so. No, it's gonna come off sooner, right? Because of the friction.
Yeah. That's one of my pet peeves and myths in the industry, is everyone automatically assumes if you add glue with tape that it's going to last longer. It's not always the case. Now, that's not to say that sometimes it isn't the case. So don't get me wrong. Sometimes with certain individuals and their chemistry, adding the two actually lasts longer for them. Hot, humid weather, I feel it does the opposite. You've got two products breaking down at the same time, and then they're slipping and sliding underneath. A good indication of this happening with you as an individual, if you're lying there and you feel like your system's starting to literally slip, you might not be using the right product for you, and you might be using too much product. And if you're using a glue with the tape, that might also be the scenario. So, yeah, that's my 2 cents, if anyone's asking. When a stock is out of a specific color, do you recommend looking for another hair color in the same model or a different model that's available? Ooh, in the color.
Probably go a shade darker. right? What would you think?
I always say go a little bit lighter if you can, as hair on the top actually goes lighter than your sides, but it really depends on how specific your client is. If you're out of stock on a specific color, sometimes you can find a color that's very close. Like for example, 11B and 1B ash are very similar. You can see like there's very small difference in the color themselves. So small that most clients wouldn't even notice. I always say maybe go a little bit lighter if you can. Because if you go darker, sometimes too dark actually makes it look more like a piece, right? Your natural sun is going to lighten your hair. It should like look a little bit lighter.
I always said a shade darker because the system's going to lighten up.
Ah, that's a good piece of advice too, especially if it's the summer. Yeah, so that could definitely work also. Yeah. Or again, if you can find something similar that would work in the same kind of system, very similar, like for example, we have the M101, which is like our skin base. That's the thicker skin one, but it's still thin skin. But we have that one, and then we have the M159, which is thin skin with a little bit of, with the breathable lace holes in them. Very similar, and you could possibly get away with using that system if they're up for it, right? Or you could go in, if you're doing like say a lace and poly system, go to an all lace system. So there are things you can change if color is really very important to them, then I would maybe look at a similar system. If color can be altered slightly here and there, then yeah, you could just alter the color. I think that works. Okay, sorry, the method I've seen you use in a video with a glass bowl upside down, which is a great way to coat the base, the poly, and then I go spawn to the scalp too. The method I've seen you use in a video is a glass bowl. Oh, I know what you're talking about.
With like the plastic dome?
Yeah, so doing it on both. You can definitely do that. You can add, so I think it's kind of like having your system on like a stand, right? Is that what
like a mannequin head.
Like a mannequin head or something like that.
Wig stand.
Yeah, wig stand, something like that. So when you're applying Ghost Bond, we were talking about this earlier actually too, was, which way do you prefer to do it? Do you prefer to just apply it to the client? Do you apply it to the system? Which one do you do? There's like, I don't want to say there's a wrong way or a right way. You can really do either or. You can apply it all on the head and then apply the system. You can apply it all on the system and then apply it on the head. You can apply it on the head and do perimeter of the system, or all on the head and then all on the system. I've seen people do all of them. None of them is going to be wrong. They're all going to work really well. So you got to just find out what works best for you. I do find if you're putting Ghost Bond onto a head, it will, or any of the white glues, it's going to dry faster than on the system. On the system, there's no heat, so it actually doesn't dry as fast.
See, I use a hair dryer or just like an air duster.
Oh yeah, definitely. That'll work.
Make it quicker.
Yeah, you can definitely make sure your coats are nice and even. If you have thicker coats, unfortunately, it is going to be harder to dry because you have a thicker coat. Too. Yeah. Also, we were talking about brushes.
Stay away from silicone if you plan on doing it on the scalp.
Yeah, on the scalp it has a weird.
It does into like a ball.
Yeah, I'm not a fan of it either. I like to use literally like a cheap dollar store paintbrush. Honestly, it's my new favorite thing. Just works. Angled one, if you really want to get close to that hairline without like messing it up, it's like can be very precise. So that's my favorite thing right now. I know. Should have a list of Tara's favorite things. Okay, install my system with some glue at the front last week, but it was tacky at the front and the hair kept sticking to it. Any tricks? You put your system on yourself. Do you have any tricks for that?
How long did they actually wait to let it dry? It was still tacky?
Yeah, if it was still tacky, it probably wasn't dry enough.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Just wait a little bit longer. Maybe take a hair dryer or an air duster and try to get it where it's not stringing up some, but has a little bit of tack. Yeah,
it depends what kind of glue it is. Ghost Bond has to be white. and it goes on clear, sorry, goes on white, goes on white, comes out clear. So it has to be clear when it's dry, and you have to make sure it's clear before you add your second coat. So you don't want to keep adding Ghost Bond on top of itself if it's not clear first. Ultra Hold, any of the other clear glues, yeah, you want to make sure when you touch it, it's going to just have a tack to it. If you're lifting it up and there's still like stringy filaments coming off, you definitely want to make sure those are not there, because that means it's not dry yet. So give it a little bit longer. More time is better than not. I think, you know, have some patience with it. Yeah, use a blow dryer, dry it down. Make sure you feel it's fully dry first before you're kind of putting that system down. But thanks for the question.
Have some patience.
Yeah, patience is definitely ideal. Yeah, definitely. Any other? Oh, Jasper. Feel like, okay, I sleep like a rock too. I'm afraid of turning my head sometimes and accidentally pulling my hair. Again, silk pillowcase, guys.
Silk.
Yeah, silk, satin. You get the sateen. It doesn't have to be like 100% real silk. Like, you don't have to go to that extent. I think you can get them anywhere now. You can find them
off Amazon.
Yeah,
for like $5.
Amazon.
It came with 2.
Yeah, see, there you go. Yeah. But yeah, even if you don't have to worry about tossing and turning silk pillowcase, you should be able to move your head around. It shouldn't be a huge deal. The systems aren't that delicate, so you should be able to move your head. That's not an issue at all. Preferred method in lining up your system for reapplication. It's always the most anxious part of the process for me every time. Thanks in advance. What's the preferred method of lining up your system for reapplication? How do you do it?
So I like to take a mirror, place it right in front of me, and I'll start with the front hairline. Typically I will use 4-finger method. That works for me. Might not work for you. You might have a bigger forehead than me. But yeah, you just want to set it up, kind of start with the front hairline first, and just kind of roll it back.
Now, do you when you're saying the 4-finger, do you mark it first, or do you just kind of
I guess
eyeball it?
I pretty much eyeball it
Okay.
now. Before I used to take my fingernail and like
put a little indent?
dent. Yeah. So
Oh,
it
that's
has,
actually
like,
a smart
little
idea.
red
Yeah,
line.
So you can kind of see where it is. Okay, so like you kind of do, so you're kind of holding the system in the mirror, holding it, putting it on, and
I'll
then
use
kind
my
of
pinkies to kind of pull out the bangs out the way.
Okay,
Kind
yeah.
of see where I'm placing it.
Good. Okay, that makes sense. That works. Good tip. All right. Anything else, guys? How often should one clean the system if they work out almost every day? What do you feel?
You're not supposed to do it daily, but I do it daily.
Like, I guess the question is it clean the system, or is it washing the system? Are we talking about taking it off and cleaning it? Or are we talking washing it? I mean, again, everybody's different.
Rinse it out. Get a deodorizer
Yep.
too if you feel like there's a stench.
Yep, you can do that. You don't have to necessarily wash it every day. If you're preferring to cleaning the system, if you're working out all the time, what would you say? So if it's about cleaning the system, I know you said you do yours every week.
Yeah, I do mine once a week. Just taking off the glue off my scalp, shaving back down that area. Yeah.
Every week.
Yeah,
So, I mean, you
once a
can
week.
definitely take it off and put it back on once a week if you really want to. It really also depends, guys, on what kind of system you're wearing. Everyone is different on how they feel with their system. If you're wearing a skin-based system, some people feel like their head isn't getting clean because that skin is glued on. So they might want to take it off more often to kind of get it off, clean the head, do that. If you're wearing a system perhaps that is a lace-based system or a mono system where you actually have that water kind of getting in there and cleaning the head, you might not have to do it as often. And it's really about preference. So you're going to know if you like, okay, I have to clean this. You're gonna have that feeling. I mean, I don't wear a system, but I'm sure you pretty much know.
I normally know when I have to clean mine when the hairline starts getting a little discolored.
Okay, so yeah, so there you go. If it's, you should have some tells for yourself. And again, there's really no right or wrong answer to when you feel like you need to clean your system. I think that's really a preference in general, right? It's like, yeah, all right. Ask you, W, what system can you recommend for the beginners who don't have a big budget?
Basic. The basic models?
Yeah, I mean, don't have a big budget. So it's really about, I mean, if you go with the M109 or the M104, I always say that those two systems are really nice systems and they're very similar. The M109 is a little bit bigger, the M104 is a little smaller. Those two systems are gonna last you a little bit longer. But at the same time, you're going to have that natural ability because you get that lace front at the front. So you kind of have the best of both worlds. So for someone with not a very big budget, I would say maybe try that out first. But it also depends on the individual. It's going to give you more of a dense system. It has a lot more hair. So it really depends on what you're looking for. But if you guys really need to kind of like dive in to get some more information, you can feel free to book an online consultation. We do those, so you can book one in, and we can definitely do an online consultation for you guys. Superhairpieces.com, and that way we can really kind of figure out what would be the best option for you and what might be the best option, like, you know, in the long run for going forward. Anything else? Okay, I guess I'm being told that that's it. So I'm going to thank Jeremy for doing the live with me today. It was nice to actually have someone to talk to. I'm usually just talking to myself. So this was great today. Again, guys, J Poe in the house. There we go. J Poe in the house. That is our code for today. If you want to get that 30% off any system, and what's that?
$30.
Oh, sorry. $30. My bad. $30. $30. No double dipping, so you can't double discount on this one. But feel free to, get in. You have until Friday at midnight to get a discount on your system. And thanks again, Jeremy, for coming in.
Yeah,
all the way from Indiana.
Oh, yeah.
Woo! All right, guys. We will see you next live. And thanks for joining us today, guys. Bye for now.